Where do you start, Craig? I mean, look, you've had a lot of experience in your career, but how big is this game in compared with all the others that you've ever played?
Yeah, it's massive. Obviously, going to the last game of the season, a little bit out of our hands. So we know we've got to go there and get the 3 points, and then hopefully things will work out for us at Cambridge and Macclesfield.
The manager said he's certainly for the first 40 minutes, an hour, he's not going to worry at all what's happening at Macclesfield. Do you feel the same? Are you going to try and ignore it, or what do you want from a player's perspective?
I think we have to concentrate on what we have to do, and that's getting the 3 points. I think if we're focusing on what they're doing, I think it takes away from what we need to do, and we have to go out there and get 3 points. There's no get a draw and maybe see we have to go and win the game, and that still might not be good enough. So obviously we'll probably hear the noise from the crowd, I think, and know probably a little bit what's going on. But as I say, the main focus will be to get 3 points, and hopefully that will be enough to get the job done.
The manager's described a mood of excitement amongst you guys. I mean, look, you're on a decent run, off the back of a decent result as well, and a bit of confidence. Is that right? Excited?
Yeah, you got to be. Like, it's a tough game, and obviously everyone knows what's at stake. But in football, sometimes you don't get many games that mean a lot. And for the club, for the boys, this is a massive game that means a lot, and you have to be excited to play in these, because that's the whole point of playing football, is to be excited and to win games that are important.
Do you feel the weight of history on your shoulders as a player? I mean, I know that sounds a big comment, but this football club's never been out of the football league.
Yeah, I think the boys understand. I think they know. Obviously, they know the history, but I think it's trying to separate ourselves from what that means, and kind of doing the job for us. I think if you take that on board and we take that into a game, then obviously we take the pressure of everyone, and I think we need to separate ourselves from that and just know this is a game that we've got to go and win as a group of players, and then hopefully that group of players will get that result, and that will keep the club in the Football League.
As a professional, I'm sure you can put your mind in the camp of the Cambridge players as well. You need a favour from them, don't you?
Yeah, I understand. Obviously, it comes to the end of the season, and when you're safe, it's very hard to get motivated, because you're one game away from going on your holiday. So I completely understand the situation they're going to be in, to get motivated to play and to win that game. So as I say, we have to do our job and get 3 points, and then hopefully see how that game goes. And if they win the game, then great. Obviously, we might have to do what we need to do first.
Have you ever been excuse my ignorance, I'm sure you have. Have you ever been in a situation earlier in your career where you've been either at the top of the table or the bottom of the table, and it's gone to the last day and you were looking at results elsewhere?
I had one recently, well, not recently, but with Brighton at Forest, and we scored in the last minute in the last game of the season to get into the playoffs. So I kind of know, and I've been in the relegation battle with Brighton, so I understand the pressures and I understand what's on it. I try to help as much as I can, and I'll try and stay as focused as I can on Saturday, and do the best I can to hopefully push the boys forward and get the club out of the situation.
Explain to us about how the pressure works. Is it on your mind a lot when you're away from the football club and you're not with the squad?
No, I think you try and kind of get away from it. You try and separate yourself from it. It's very difficult to kind of, if you keep taking that pressure at home with you. I find personally that it kind of affects family life. It affects what's going on around. I've got young kids, and I want to be as happy and positive and kind of hide things from them. Obviously, with the football, it's a little bit difficult. So I think it's just a case of being positive and being at the club and doing what you need to do, and being positive here, and then going away and completely forgetting about it, and then turning up on Saturday and ready to do the job.
It surprised me a little bit that your positivity, the manager's positivity, that there's a positive, mood around this place, isn't there, despite all the difficulties?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we've performed well. I feel that there's probably a couple of games throughout the time I've been here that haven't been good enough, and the boys and everyone knows which games they are. But I feel throughout the whole, I feel we've played some good football, and we've looked like we've kind of progressed in the right direction. We've put ourselves in a position now where we have the opportunity to get out of this situation if it all works out.
Thanks, Chris.
Grand. I'll jump in there. Apologies if there's going to be a couple of questions that'll be over that. Craig, how do you get the balance right between the pressure and the expectation, perhaps, and also not letting that, override emotions on Saturday?
I think it's just trying to take it for what it is. It's a game of football. It's 11v11. We need to go out there and and win the game. We know we have to win the game. It's not a case of like we get a draw and when see what happens. We have to win the game to give ourselves an opportunity. So it's just a case of focusing on Saturday, knowing it's just another football match because we're going to win.
I spoke to your manager before, and he was talking about the weight of history. He's a bit of a history buff.
Yeah.
He loves his football history in particular, and this place has got plenty of that.
Yeah.
How much does it weigh around your neck?
Obviously, I understand the history and I know the size of the club and the expectation, but I try and step away from that. As I say, it's a game of football. I understand what is at stake, but we have to go and win a game of football, win the match, and then let the rest of it kind of take care of itself.
When you joined on loan from Wycombe, did you think you'd be in this situation?
I was hoping we'd kind of be out of this situation and enjoying the last few games, but when you're in a relegation battle, it's amazing how you get sucked into it, and it's very difficult to get out. The luck and the things never seem to go in your favour. So, as I say, I've been in one before, so I understood what it was going to take to get out of it, and to give ourselves a chance on the last game of the season is a positive considering the position when I came in.
Do you feel like you should have been out of it by now? You've had the opportunities to.
Yeah, I think so. I think we've had enough opportunities. I think there's as I say, a few games we've probably let ourselves down, and I think we had a great run to start with, and all the boys come in, and then I think that little period afterwards we had a little blip and didn't win the amount of games that we hopefully felt we should have done. So I think some of others probably feel the same as well. We feel we should have been out of it by now, but as I say, this is football. It's not as easy as just turning up and playing a football match. Everyone wants to win. There was teams definitely playing for things when we were playing them. So to put ourselves in a position where we can get out of it, that's all you can ask for. And now we've got to go and do our job and hope the luck is on our side. In
the context of this being the world's oldest professional football league club, can you compare the pressure of the current situation that you're in to your previous experience with a relegation battle?
I think I take them as the same. I understand the history and I understand what's at stake, but obviously clubs getting relegated is not good for any fan, so I understand the pressures, and it's just kind of trying to deal with them exactly the same, trying to take it as another game of football, doing the best I can physically do on the pitch, and hopefully driving everyone forward, and we can get the points that we need.
Do you need a miracle, or is that a step too far?
No, it's a case of, as I say, if we do our job and get the 3 points in, all we can hope is that Cambridge can do us a favour. As I say, it's a good way in a sense that we don't have to focus on anything other than winning a game. It's not like we need a draw and we've got to hang in. Like, we have to go flat out for 95 minutes and make sure we get the 3 points, and then it is in the lap of the gods. It just depends what happens in that game. You never know in football, and we just got to get 3 points, and hopefully it does work out come the end of the game.
Will you be keeping across what's going on between Macclesfield and Cambridge when you're shouting across to the sideline? Is that what you're going to be asking?
No, they'll obviously know, and I think sometimes you get an awareness from the fans when you can obviously hear them shouting and screaming when the other teams have scored, and you can obviously hear a bit of and feel a lull when the other teams are doing well. So we'll understand on the pitch, but I think that would detract from us doing our job. We need to get the 3 points, as I say, and then it's in the lap of the gods what happens. Or
in the lap of Cambridge, and not been called gods for a long time.
No.
But looking at their situation, some will say, what does it matter to them? They're already on the beach. Can a footballer be already on the beach when there's nothing to play for?
Sometimes it's difficult. It's been a long season. They've got themselves safe. There is nothing for them to really play for other than pride. So it is difficult sometimes to get yourself up for the games, and Macclesfield will be right up for it because they know the importance of the game. So hopefully they'll want to do have professional pride and get the 3 points. I think Macclesfield, if they beat them, will probably go above them in the league. So hopefully, as I say, professional pride will come out and they'll do us a favour.
Looking ahead for you beyond this season, any plans already in place?
No, I'm contracted at Wycombe for another season, so it will be to go back and obviously to speak to the management and see where they see me fitting in to their plans. Obviously, hopefully get the club safe. It would be a head of achievement in my career to do that. and then it'll just go away in the summer and obviously and kind of speak to people as the summer progresses.
I was going to say, actually, in the grand scheme of your career, what would helping Notts to survive this train wreck of a season, where would that stand?
It'd be right up there. Like I've been lucky to have promotions and I've survived relegation, but also to come into a club in the position it was in, and to especially to keep them up on the last day of the season would be an amazing achievement, and like something I'd be really proud of.
That's Craig Wishwell.
Thank you.
Craig, I imagine as a former Peterborough player, you can't have wished for any favours from Cambridge in the past. But they could really do one from. You could really do one from them Saturday, couldn't they?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, it's a difficult one because they're safe. It's the last game of the season. They're away. Sometimes you as a footballer, all these factors, you kind of relax, and as much as you are pushing to go and get those 3 points, sometimes you are a bit more relaxed about the outcome.
Do you know any players there?
I know a few to say hello to and that, so I don't know if I can text them and say, can you do me a favour or not. So I'll leave it to them. Like I say, that we have no hand in what they do. That's that side of the game. We've got to go and be professional and work hard, get the 3 points that we need, and if it doesn't work out, then at least we can look at each other and say we've given everything we've got and we've done the best we can, and if it works out, then obviously we'll be having a massive party.
It was interesting to know that you try and switch off when you go back. What sort of coping mechanisms have you got that help you sort of relax? Because I imagine with the pressure of trying to keep the world's oldest football league club from slipping into non-league must be pretty great.
Yeah, I've got 4 dogs and 2 kids, so it's mayhem in my house. So I don't have much time to think about football, which is great because I think when I was younger and I didn't have that responsibility, I felt that I spent too much time thinking about football, and I'd take it on personally, and I'd be worrying about what I could do and why it wasn't working out. And I feel having children has been a blessing really, because it's allowed me to kind of step away from football. They're the most important thing in the world to me, so I want to make sure when I go home I'm there 100% for them, giving them all the attention they need. And it allows me to kind of probably be a better footballer, because when I go into football, all my focus is on that, and I haven't beaten myself up when I've been away from home.
And the dogs get well exercised, I bet.
Yeah. I've got 4 dogs that love running around chasing footballs and that, so it's entertaining, and as I say, it's good because it keeps me focused on house life instead of just completely focused on football.
What's the mood like within the dressing room? I know you said excited. Did the players sense that they could be on the verge of something remarkable, rather than look at the negative side of it? What could happen if results go against them?
Yeah, I think they understand what an achievement it would be to get out of the position they've been in. I think it was 9 points adrift when I came in, so to get out of that position would be fantastic. And I think you've got to relish these challenges. Like as I said, sometimes in your career you may not get a promotion challenge, but you might get a relegation battle, and to stay out of keep a team in the division is a hell of an achievement. So I think the boys are excited. We've had some really good training sessions this week. It's not been too much focus on what we're going to do at the moment. It's just kind of enjoyment and getting the boys having a laugh, and it seems really good at the moment. And I think tomorrow we'll focus on what we've got to do, and then hopefully we can take all that into Saturday.
Brilliant, mate. Thank you.
No problem.
Great. I'm sorry if we go over.
That's all right. Hang on.
Sorry, we've been over. Yeah, first and foremost, just wanted to touch on that. How has Neil Ardley so far prepared you for that game this week?
Yeah, we've just relaxed. We just had a lot of enjoyment, a lot of kind of small-sided games, shooting, head tennis, just to kind of break it up and not kind of be so intense from the beginning of the week to the end of the week. I think sometimes mentally you can be so focused in on what you need to do, you exhaust yourself before you even get to the game. So it's been a good few days of just enjoying competitions, all the boys having a laugh and a joke, and I think just taking that pressure away of the situation and allowing us to as I say, enjoy ourselves. And then tomorrow it'll be a little bit different, and we'll start focusing for the game.
Neil said last week you had a meeting to address what he called the elephant in the room of the situation that you guys find yourself in, and it seemed to do the trick with that win at the weekend. Would you say that's fair to say? Yeah,
I think it was needed to said to allow the boys to know that the pressure's not on them. They can just relax and enjoy it. Everyone knows that all the boys in this dressing room are trying so hard to achieve this and get the club out of the situation. So there's no one not trying. So sometimes it's nice for the manager to come in and just say that, just take a step back, relax, enjoy it, try not to feel the pressure. And say on Saturday I feel that worked. I feel we performed really well and got the result we needed.
Not sadly underdogs in this. Do you like the underdog tag?
Yeah, sometimes it's not a bad thing. It's obviously you take it on board, but you try not to focus on that too much, because I think sometimes you feel like you're on a dog. But if it doesn't go so well, you can say, oh well, we were the underdog, so it doesn't matter so much. But I think sometimes you just got to drop that. You're two teams on that pitch, 11v11. It doesn't matter who you are. You just got to go out there and try and outperform the person you're playing against.
What are some of the key elements of letting an occasion like this not get the better of not just yourself but the squad as a whole, the players and even the management staff?
I think it's just trying to enjoy the challenge and see it as it is difficult, because obviously there is a lot riding on it, but just seeing it as another football match and seeing it in that 90 minutes. We cannot affect anything that the other teams do, Mackail-Smith and Cambridge. That we cannot affect that game. We can only do what we need to do. And I say, I feel this week has been a really good week of the boys getting around each other, having a laugh and pushing each other, and I feel that will stem us in good stead for Saturday.
And you've said you've had a relegation battle previously with Brighton. Were there any similarities between that time and now, or anything you can draw on from that would help?
I think it's just what we've been doing recently. We've been working really hard. We've been getting around each other. I feel obviously the manager taking the pressure away from the boys has really helped. And in that case with Brighton, we pushed away with a few games to go. So this is I'd say a more exciting challenge coming up. And it's, as I say, I'll be trying to pass my knowledge on to the boys and try and keep them as calm as they can on a pitch, whatever the situation is during the game, and hopefully we can find what we need to get the 3 points.
How have you found your time at Notts County?
I've really enjoyed it. It's a fantastic club. Obviously, it's got great support, great history, and the boys have been fantastic. I think all the loan players have come in, and everyone's kind of gelled together and understands have understood the enormity of the task. And I don't think there's one person that hasn't put everything into getting the club out of this situation. So I've really enjoyed my time, and hopefully come kind of 5 o'clock on Saturday, we'll be celebrating staying up.
Just finally for me, I think there's more than 2,000 away tickets have been sold. There's a hell of a lot of Notts fans going down to the game. What would your message be to them?
Yeah, no, it's going to be exciting. I just want to get behind us, no matter like kind of how the situation's going with our game and how the situation's going with Cambridge and Mackail. Just get behind us, and we'll give everything we've got. And hopefully, as I say, come the end of the game, it would have been enough.
Wish you well, thank you.
Cheers.
Just a quick one from me. I think obviously you say you've got to keep it in perspective, but this team will go down in history with Notts County one way or the other, won't it?
Yeah, definitely. We'll be heroes or villains. Like it is that cutthroat at the end of the day, and say we're doing everything we can to be the heroes. I'd say there's probably 1 or 2 games since the time I've been here that we maybe haven't been good enough, but I feel for the rest of that, I feel the boys have given everything they've got. And when you get drawn into a relegation battle, it's sometimes the luck just isn't there, and we've seen that in quite a few of the games that we've played. So we've got to kind of put everything out. It literally is a one-off game now. It's go there, get 3 points, and then hopefully come 5 o'clock we're all celebrating in the dressing room.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah,
Great, can I just-
important goals for you in the last couple of games? How good's it been for you playing back through the middle after being out wide?
Yeah, it's been great. This is the position I've played throughout my career, and where I've kind of scored most of my goals. I'll play anywhere. Like if the manager needs me to play left back, I'll play left back, because I enjoy football so much. But to be down the middle is where I feel like I do my best work, and kind of the last 2 games I've scored 2 goals, which I feel like it's showing. That's the case. So hopefully, I don't know obviously what the team is at the moment, but hopefully I'll be involved Saturday, and I can carry on where I've left off the last couple of games.
Has it been pleasing to get yourself on the score sheet at such a crucial period in the season?
Yeah, I'm disappointed because I felt like I should have been on the score sheet a lot more, even playing a little bit out of position. I feel I kind of trust my ability to score wherever I'm playing. So I'm a little disappointed I haven't scored more goals, but to score 2 in the last couple of games to keep the fight on has been nice.